Hi, my name's Father Dan Cambra, and I'm a Marian of the Immaculate Conception, the religious community that operates the National Shrine of Divine Mercy here in Stockbridge, Massachusetts. Today I'd like to talk to you about St. Rose of Lima. St. Rose of Lima was the first saint from the Americas to be canonized by the Catholic Church. Her feast day is August 23rd. And while she lived an extraordinarily private life, she was blessed with companions and contemporaries of extraordinary holiness, which she shared. One of the men in her life was Bishop Torribius. He was the bishop of Lima, Peru at the time, a Dominican by training, and an extraordinarily gifted preacher, and a man of personal holiness and great skills of leadership. On one occasion, the Dutch entered the harbor of Lima, and he immediately sent word to both St. Rose of Lima and to Martin de Porres, another contemporary, and John Marcius, another contemporary, and Francis Solana, all contemporaries, Francis, however, being a Franciscan, and the others all Dominicans. In their prayer, they were able to somehow influence the Dutch, who simply turned and left the harbor just as easily as they entered the harbor. It would have been no effort for them to capture the city of Lima, Peru, but for some reason they decided not to. According to tradition, it's understood that the Dutch, when they came into the harbor, saw something other than what was there, either because they didn't have the means to observe things as well as they should have, or because God placed something in the midst to confuse them. St. Rose of Lima began living her life as a tertiary Dominican in her parents' garden. She built, or had built for herself, a small chamber, a hermitage, if you will. And there she gave herself to some extraordinary penances, things that are just inconceivable for us these days. But her penances were for a purpose. She offered them for the conversion of various sinners that came to her in prayer. Whether they were souls in purgatory or whether they were revelations from God to her about people in Lima, Peru that needed prayers is not quite clearly understood. On at least a couple of occasions, John Marcius asked her to pray for people that he had encountered, because just like St. Martin de Porres, he was also somebody who dispensed medicine to the sick and the poor, who came to him seeking relief. As we think about St. Rose of Lima, possibly the most extraordinary gift that she had from God was the gift of espousal. Like her predecessor, Catherine of Siena, the Virgin Mary appeared to her as did Christ, and she presented Christ to St. Rose as her spouse, and he placed on her finger a ring which only she saw. Her love for Christ grew even more strongly, and finally, when she came to the end of her life, she said to her friends and family who had gathered for her death that she was going home to her beloved, and that she would remember them all in her prayers. What an extraordinary thing that it was within a week after her death that the bishop of Lima, Peru, Terebius received a message in a dream that in fact she was praying for him still. She prays for you and I, and for all those who seek her intercession. May God bless you today and all the days of your life.